Hey, this is Jonathan Pasley, and I've been a fan of the Bulletproof products for about 3 years now. But recently, I've decided to take a couple of step backs just from what I've discovered very recently about the products. So, hey, my name is Jonathan Pasley, and remember to subscribe to this video. Like this video, share this video with somebody if you think can benefit from it, and feel free to comment underneath this video. But I've been a fan of Bulletproof products for about 3 years now. I remember when I first heard about Bulletproof, like the Bulletproof coffee. That's like the intro into Bulletproof, and I first heard about it putting butter and the brain Octane Oil into your coffee and blending it. I'm like, that's crazy. Who in the world is doing that, right? But you know, I kept reading about like the effects of it and how, you know, it just increased your focus and energy and things like that. And I was like, well, you know, I still thought it was crazy. but then I had my first child. And I literally felt what it was like not to have any energy. And I remembered about really like a week or two in after having a newborn, I was like, hey, you know what? Let me try this Bulletproof stuff. So I tried it, and it was amazing. Like I felt like a superhero on this stuff. Like laser focus, had a ton of energy. I didn't even need a lot of sleep. Like I would need like 4 or 5 hours of sleep. I'd wake up and get straight to it. Like the effects of it on me were amazing. But long story short, about 2 months after I started taking it, I one day started throwing up blood in the office. Long story short, rushed to the hospital. Doctors found out that there was a tumor on my stomach that burst, and I was basically bleeding to death, right? Long story short, again, they do emergency surgery to cut out the tumor. There was ones on my liver, and I was diagnosed with cancer at the time. I guess gastrointestinal stroma tumor. Don't worry, by God's grace, I am, the cancer's in remission. I'm doing much, much better. But I always in the back of my mind wondered if, you know, the Bulletproof coffee, like the oil, because, you know, a lot of times, and you know, you read things online, right? You're on YouTube now, you know what I mean? You read things online, and they say that sometimes the fats can feed cancers and things like that. So that was like in the back of my mind. I'm like, I wonder if it was like the brain Octane Oil, because the brain Octane oil is like a very refined coconut oil. And, you know, it's like coconut oil, but coconut oil on steroids. So I always wondered that. Like, I wonder if it's like the brain Octane Oil from the Bulletproof coffee. I wonder if it's just too much, you know, for me in particular. So I stayed away from it. And then recently, I started taking it, and so this was back in 2016. So I took it for like 3 months, and then I stopped taking it from that whole tumor incident. Battled cancer for a year, rough journey, right? Very, very rough journey. Look at some of my past videos, and I'll share more about that. Where I share more about my journey on just, you know, battling cancer. But in the last couple of months, maybe the last 3 months, 3-4 months, I started back on the Bulletproof coffee, and coincidentally, 2 scans ago, they found a little something in the area of where the tumors were, and basically had liquefied after I, you know, I take a Gleevec, which is a chemo pill that's targeted towards the liver for people that have been diagnosed with GIST. And it worked. My body responded really, really well to it, right? It liquefied all the tumors and that were in my body. Now, if you're wondering, well, I thought they took the tumors out in the surgery. They did, and for the first year, I did natural methods. It didn't work for me. The tumors grew back. Wasn't doing well, and but I eventually went on to taking the chemo pill called Gleevec, and my body responded extremely well to it. It liquefied, shrunk, and then liquefied all the tumors that were growing back in my liver. So I say all that to say, about 3-4 months ago, I started Bulletproof coffee up again, and then there was like a little something that they saw in just one of my checkups, or one of my checkup CT scans, And then again, my thought went back to, man, like, I wonder if it's that I wonder if it's the Bulletproof stuff. Now, I'm not saying their stuff is bad. I'm just saying everybody responds. Everybody's body is different, and everyone's body responds differently to different stuff. So after I got that, I stopped Bulletproof completely. I don't do it anymore. I don't take anything that has to do with the brain Octane Oil. Now, again, when I say I'm not a hater of Bulletproof stuff, like, I still have the bottle of which I used to take. Again, I stopped taking it. I actually take their polyphenomenal, which is really, really good. This doesn't have any brain octane in it, but it's I got extracts of like blueberries and a bunch of other things that really help with inflammation. So I like it. It really helps. And I've got other stuff too, again, that doesn't have the brain octane oil. But again, I just wonder, again, I'm not saying that this does cause tumors or it does cause cancer or it feeds cancer. I don't know. But I know I'm not taking it anymore. Again, everybody's body is different. Maybe it just has to do with certain people's like genetic makeup. Maybe some people can't take it. If their maybe body is more prone to growing tumors or more prone to cancer, then it's probably not a good idea to take it. I do remember, again, years ago, and this was after I was diagnosed with cancer in that first year when I was battling cancer. I remember someone in the Bulletproof forums even saying like that they had to go to the hospital because like a tumor was growing. And I think it was like on their stomach or liver too. Again, I'm not saying for certain, but you never know. You never know. I don't know. Things are so confusing online. Online, there's so much information. Everyone says this and that, and there's other people there that there's other people out there that contradict that, and you don't know what to do. You don't know what to believe. For me, especially in my cancer journey, that's why it was so important to really just trust God and seek God for guidance. Again, if you see my cancer journey, this was rough. I drew closer to God and really started just not only praying, but learning more, about the Bible, more about His Word, and, again, just seeking Him through the journey and what to do. Because I remember when I was diagnosed, I go online, go on YouTube, go on Google, and start reading stuff, not to do chemo or to do this, or I was eating all kinds of stuff, from apple seeds and CBD oil, and I was doing on Gerson's therapy, and I was doing all kinds of stuff, but it just caused more confusion than anything. Again, by God's grace, cancer's in remission now. And so at the end of the day, whatever you're going through, if you had been diagnosed with cancer, or if you were diagnosed with some kind of ailment or disease and you're confused on what to do, who to believe, trust God, seek God for wisdom and guidance, because at the end of the day, nobody on this earth really knows, and everybody's body is just made up differently. So you don't know how your body might react to something that someone else is doing. Someone else might be doing something that might be working really well for them, but it might not work as well for you. It might have adverse effects, so again, that's why it's just so important to seek God, seek Christ through it all. So again, I hope this was of value. Again, this is just my opinion, my experience in this. I still love the Bulletproof products. I just won't be having any brain octane oil. I think, the Dave Asprey, the CEO of it, I think he's a weird guy, but a good guy. I think he has good intentions, but again, this is just my experience. Hey, if you know anybody who's been diagnosed with cancer, who's in their cancer journey, I started a cancer support group on Facebook. Christians Battling Cancer. I started that about a year ago. It's been just an amazing group. There's it's more than 350 of us in there, all been diagnosed with cancer in different stages of their journey, whether people are cancer-free or remission, or people just got diagnosed, all in there just supporting and encouraging each other, praying for each other too as well. So hey, if you have been diagnosed with cancer, or someone who has been, please tell them to join. Go to www.cbc.support. It'll take you straight there. Just yeah, go ahead and join. Again, Christians Battling Cancer. So all right, everyone, remember to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share it with somebody who you think can benefit from it. All right, everyone, have a great day.